We're joined now live by Senator Jim Rosapepe, who was in the room for the speech, as you were last year. What are your thoughts on what you heard from the governor today?
It was great to see him back in good health and recovering. From a substantive point of view, I thought it was sort of a nothing burger. I mean, I just didn't hear any program for how he's going to advance the state. It was a lot of talking about things that are either already in law, and he's obeying the law, which we applaud. So he's funding education to the extent the law requires him to. That's great. We don't violate the law. But I just didn't see much of a program. I think the question that's asked by a lot of my colleagues are, where's the beef?
Senator, I was at that press conference where all the county executives were at, and that's where that line came from, from county executive cabinets. There's a philosophical difference between this governor and the folks down on the floor. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think if his philosophy is to do nothing to improve the state, and we want to have a lot of efforts to try to improve the state, then that is a philosophical difference. If we want to invest in transit, if we want to make improvements in the city of Baltimore, which needs help, if we want to do things like improve the Laurel and Prince George's Hospital situations, those are important. He just isn't putting the money where we need it. So if he's a do-nothing agenda, it may be very sincere, and he may accomplish it. But we're not going to stop fighting for what we think our constituents need.
As you know, this governor has talked about making government smaller. And that means that some things in his agenda are going to go by the wayside. Is that good for the state, or can you do both?
I don't think he has made the government smaller. I think his budget is larger than last year's budget. I think he talks about it, but I don't think he does it.
Okay. But, he's asked for earned income tax credit. Is that a place where there's...
Sure, absolutely. We welcome his support for progressive agendas like helping low-income working people get ahead. When he comes over to things that are important, we're all for it. I appreciate him mentioning that. But in the grand scheme of things, accelerating the earned income credit, as good a thing as it is not a major initiative to improve the state. I think that's one of the differences, and it may be a philosophical difference, is he wants to be kind of a keep the trains running on time kind of governor. And keeping the trains running on time is important, but not when we have the traffic congestion we have. We need more trains, and they all need to run on time.
Jeff?
Give me the agenda from the standpoint of an individual legislator. What are you hoping to accomplish this year?
Well, we have initiatives that the Democrats in the legislature are coming behind. We announced several of them this week in terms of promoting pay equity for women, in terms of helping with college affordability, in terms of helping the 1 million Marylanders who have no retirement savings at work get access to those. So we're going to have a lot of initiatives to try to move the state forward, and we'll welcome the governor's support for them.
Let me drill into the retirement savings initiative. You've been involved in that one. The public, depending where they work, has access to a range of retirement plans. What's missing in your view?
What's missing is available to it at work. The data shows that someone is 18 times more likely to save for retirement if they can just take it out of their paycheck at work in payroll deduction, compared to if they have to go talk to a lot of stockbrokers and compare all the plans and read all the fine print and evaluate it all for themselves. I bet you have, I know I have, a payroll deduction for retirement savings. And that's the million who are covered have that, which is why they have it. The million who don't have it, therefore they don't. So we're just saying that opportunity ought to be available to private sector workers across the state.
How would it work? I mean, we have this growing freelance economy where so many people aren't full-time employees, and there's no payroll check to take it out.
That's very fair. Independent contractors, it doesn't solve that problem. But that is a small percentage of the workforce. It's growing some, but there are 1 million people who work for employers in Maryland today, even with Uber, who would benefit from this.
Let me ask you about the business climate in the state, because the governor has talked about we need to improve the business climate. He pointed to several new industries that have come here, from Amazon, improvement of the FedEx facility, and there are some things that are still on the board. Has the business climate improved in the state?
Oh, I think over the past 2 decades it's definitely improved, and I think last year was another good year, and so we applaud it. We work on it all the time. I mean, that's why Maryland bounced back from the international recession faster than many states. That's why we're gaining in so many ways compared to Virginia. I think he's recognizing the progress we're made, and I agree with him.
Let me get your sense of the new FBI headquarters. that's a big thing if it comes to this.
It is, and we're working hard to do it, and he's supporting it, and I applaud that. And the congressional delegation's working together. Everybody's working together on that. So we're working. That's an example of something we're working together on. So it's not like we're divided on everything. And lots of things. I mean, the fact that the governor approved going ahead with the purple line was terrific. The fact that he killed the red line was not good. So we're going to have some disagreements.
Jeff?
Jim Rosapepe, thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. All right.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you for coming in, sir.